Hello, stream
Hello.
audience. Hello, stream participants. This is where you say hello back, Beth.
Hello.
Um,
Hello.
Welcome to Roll It Slant presents The Last Page, a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition campaign set in the marvelous world of my imagination and your imaginations. Imagine the possibilities together. Roll It Slant. You can find us at rollitslant.com or on Twitter at rollitslant or on YouTube at or on
Linked
Twitch
below for your convenience.
where you're watching now.
Those Murlocs, we're now broadcasting and
They are. Did you know that
Murloc.
Murlocs founded YouTube? I'm not getting distracted. We're going to stick right on this. So yeah, shout out to Roll20.net for the virtual tabletop experience that we are all about to share and for having us as part of their Spotlight program. They shine an exceptionally bright light in our direction, which we use and our mirror to reflect into the eyes of people we don't like. Also, thank you to Kevin MacLeod for making the little ditties that sit in our heart. Like
the P.
blood.
Diddy's.
Cool. We'll listen to some of his jams as we go.
Jams.
Let's kick it up a notch with Magic Forest. What a banger. All right, here we go. So,
Thanks, Kevin.
last time, yeah, thank you, Kevin MacLeod. Last time, look at that. See how fast we're playing Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition role-playing game?
Casey, you're ruining it.
Oh, I'm not the only one ruining
You've jinxed
something.
it.
Uh-oh.
We did it too fast. And now we're being punished.
Everybody's in a spot, but we lost Timur.
Whoops.
Oops. Beth, turn your camera off and then turn it back on again. See if that fixes everything.
Wait, should I wait?
Oh god, no. You're fine. Beth, turn on. Yay! I don't have to do anything. Excellent. So, welcome to the stream. Hi, stream viewers. Hi, stream... No, we did that part. Last time on Oh My God, It Hurts My Eyes.
No, thank
Hate
you.
that.
It's an osticle illusion.
What?
Cool.
It certainly is an obstacle for me right now.
Look, I grew up with Cubert, okay?
Yeah. I can
It's not
hear the
that at all.
keyboard noises in my head. It must have been a weird household, though, with Hubert in there. I digress.
We did pinball machine too.
Great. And you only played Wizards. That was a who joke.
Oh, sure was.
Okay, last time on the last page, the party found itself stranded in a building in Crennel Bend, beset by a storm of ravens and dark, horror-like creatures in a storm of death sent from who knows where to right the wrongs and reset the balance between life and death that had been upset somehow. The party did their best detective sleuthing work to discover the source of the desire for this storm and determined through harming animals that it was
I think you mean my very scientific crow detector.
that it was indeed Undine, the empty vessel, hollow shell of a person created by their former employer, Shavia, in order to store memories for a while she wasn't using them in her head. But with that purpose now fulfilled, Undine walks the earth as a living affront to the balance between life and death. The party hatched a brilliant plan to leave And in doing so, they wanted to get the help of the villagers, so they enacted a plan to show their solidarity by fighting off some of the ravens in the storm and not tempting any of the more dangerous creatures above. Immediately into pursuing that plan, they didn't do that. They did the opposite and found themselves face to face with the apogee creature, the lead creature of the storm that controls the storm itself, but were able to successfully vanquish it, and in doing so, rid Colonel Bend of the storm itself. But there were complications. Mystery NPCs that were found also hiding out in the same building that party took refuge in. One, Emily Ivo, daughter of former NPCs in previous campaigns, who party learned last session can hold her own in combat, although what the nature or origin of these powers are, we just don't know yet. They also met Dew, a curator of the library, a member of the Brotherhood, whom the party has made a deal with to give him the location of the Essay Lily, the life-giving lily that their previous quest giver had beseeched them to help deliver the life-giving nectar of it to his daughter, who is on death's door, literally. Instead, they killed him and tried to bring him back to life using it. That almost worked, so they know it's sort of good stuff.
You make it sound like we actively were like, stab, you die, halfling man. No, it was the ravens that we let into the building that killed him.
It was just the aura of death that follows the party, leaving a trail of destruction and bloodshed behind it.
So, feeling an emotion that I'll describe as guilt, the party is returning to Marcos, this halfling's place of living, his abode, to hopefully harness or harvest some nectar from this lily before it stops producing it for another year, and bring it to his ailing daughter, who is on death's door, literally. But with a very high perception roll, in the now clearing skies from the storm, sunset kind of approaching dusk, somebody made an animal handling roll. Zahara notices that all is not quiet at the now deceased Marcos's home. There is a curious creature by the lily, which you have seen from quite a distance out with such a high perception roll, and it appears that that creature is a tabaxi. So we'll pick up the story now. You're probably a few 100 feet away from the abode in this sort of swamp-like area, off the road in the wilderness, and you see Tabaxi just kind of crouched down next to that bright, glowing, very large orange lily that you saw.
I am going to gesture for everybody to stop moving.
I don't think he's going to listen to us.
And it's just us here right now, isn't it?
It's you and Emily.
It's us and Emily.
Emily.
I'm gonna just gesture for. Stop.
What?
That's her back.
Well, let's go say hello.
No, don't.
If there's any like coins or gems on the ground, Emily, do not take them, because
those are ours.
They're crafty. No, they're gonna trap you. I'm just saying, like, only a fool would fall for it.
Noted. Are these people dangerous?
Emily,
Before I am also, as we're talking, double strapping my book to my body. Like, like I have reinforcements, so it's like I pulled like Cosima up and I just like do this double strap thing like that I kind of built in for security.
When you say people, do you mean there's more than just the one I see?
I just see one cat. But historically, there have been multiple cats.
Just in the world, or?
They're
No,
notoriously difficult to herd.
I've heard that, yeah.
So, are we just going to sit here avoiding social contact, or are we going to go over? Or are we killing it?
Well, we don't know if there's multiple cats.
Or are we killing them?
We shouldn't engage in combat unless you're able to kill them from here, because I'm at less than 1/4 of my... Well, approximately 1/4.
Oh, then I'm going to go and say hello and be friendly.
Okay. There's no way this can possibly go wrong.
Well, there's no way it can possibly go right.
Not comforting, Gris.
Chris goes over.
Okay, what are the rest of you doing?
Long resting.
Just I think stepping forward, but like not like with Groose, but just to show that I am there with Groose. Does that kind of
No,
standing
does
back
not
a little
make
bit?
any sense at
No,
all.
sorry. Basically, like standing back a little bit. Hey, Zahara, is this a hiding thing, or is this a like, hey, we all stand back, like?
I was planning on hiding.
Oh.
Bye. I'm gonna start flanking around and stealthily with an eye out for other cats.
I guess I'll hide then.
I'm gonna look at potions. Does anyone have healing potions? I need a potion. Oh, I have one. Oh, I have 2. When was I given these?
Marcos gave us each one.
Thanks,
Well, I'm
buddy.
going to pour
Pour
me
one out for his
myself a
bro.
shot. Goliath has straws. He uses it.
Alright, if you're using a healing potion, please do so. If you
Absolutely.
are sneaking around, please give me a stealth check.
Into one?
Really?
Oh, that's bad. That's
Oh.
like... Why are you doing animal handling?
Wait, who gave me this? This is watered down.
Well, I'm just preempting this, Cookie.
Okay, even though this is a humanoid, that's fine.
Anything's a humanoid.
So
if Twitter
Olive,
gets
are
its
you
hands on it.
going with Sahara, or are you just hiding where you are?
I am gonna, if Sahara went one way, I'm gonna just kind of go like a couple trees over from where we were originally standing.
Okay, so you're a couple 100 feet away. And Zahara, you're.
I'm basically trying to shadow Groose without being noticed.
What's our current NPC doing?
Just looking at all of you, a bit perplexed, as one of you is just walking without stealthing in, the other 2 are hiding, and you're just sort of
All right.
being unsatisfied by a healing potion.
Yeah, I'm just. All right. Well, that's
So
enough.
she's just
I
kind
will,
of standing next to you.
I will stand there awkwardly because my disadvantage at hiding and my my negative score. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, negative score to hide even if I didn't have disadvantage. It's just not conducive. I'm just gonna wait from way over here.
All right. So those of you who are waiting are, let's say, 150 feet away. The others closing.
Nope, that's within certain ranges. I'd like to be 700 feet.
Okay. You can move to 700 feet away.
I could. I'm not going to. I'd get killed.
Little do you know that this is actually a multi-classed warlock sorcerer with a distant spell, eldritch blast, and spell sniper. You aren't getting away from this particular cat.
This cat is mid-maxed.
Meow maxed, if you will.
Yeah, that's the better one. Alright.
I'm gonna try to quietly shadow Groot, and I'm keeping an eye out for other hidden cats.
All right, Bruce, you proceed forward with not much knowledge of what the rest of your party is doing, and you quickly come to sort of the way you've made an approach previously on this map. I did switch the map, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It's taking a second to load on my other
Oh.
screen.
It did just freeze entirely for me.
Alright. There we go. So, you see across all of this, again, the very old, fallen automaton, if you will, that Marcos had built his house in, and then in its hand there, the big, bright, glowing orange lily, and crouched beside, pretty, Groose, you can see pretty focused on that is Kind Beauty, the druid cat.
I am, I guess,
Fireball.
going this way.
Fireball.
Greetings.
She sort of looks over and stands up and looks at you.
Fireball.
Greetings.
How are you?
It is no longer raining, so very good. Very good. The fur does not like the rain.
It's okay. I don't like the rain either.
Fireball.
Pretty flower, isn't it?
It is not like something I have ever found in this world.
Oh.
Hmm?
So,
Do you know what it is?
yes. Well, in the general sense,
It is generally a flower.
generally,
It smells good.
it's,
It
it
tastes
tastes
good.
good. Just excuse me for one moment. Bruce is gonna pull out an empty vial from the potion he drank or fed to somebody earlier, and wants to try and harvest somehow.
Alright, you do notice that sort of standing up on top of the head up over here is the archer of the cats, who kind of just stands up and makes his presence known there. Not like
Hello.
not like aiming a bow at you, but just sort of glaring down.
Do I also see this cat?
You don't have line of sight from where you are currently, because remember you're sort of back in behind. Unless you're climbing up and over that section, in which case he would have eyes on you. So if you've climbed up, then yes, you do.
Well, I was hoping, is this like up?
Yes, that's like the arm sticking up and out. That's another.
'Cause I think I was
that's
kind of-
another
I was-
probably like 10 feet above you.
I think I was kind of hoping the reason that I moved the way I did was because I was kind of hoping to be able to get up on top of it so I can kind of keep an eye on Groost while also maintaining enough cover to maintain my stealth.
If you go to climb up there, you will be in open view of everyone in the area. Because you'll be standing on top of this thing that has nothing around it. That one little part that sticks up, like the shoulder that sticks out, there's a sort of cylinder that comes out of the main body that extends up about 5 feet, and that cylinder is maybe only like 1.5 feet in diameter. So
Oh, okay, so it's not enough to.
it's not a big thing.
So, what's you guys doing here?
Well, it was not my idea, but town was a bit frightful, so we came out here, and well, they followed you here before, so we know there is something valuable here. We just need to find it.
Right, who followed us here?
Go. We all take turns following you.
Whose turn was it before?
Before what?
You.
Before my turn?
Yes.
Usually, Paint goes before me, and then I go. This time it was Wind.
So whose turn is it after?
I think it's then back to Canvas's turn.
It would be a lot easier for us if you could check in with us when you switch who's following us, so we know who to say hello to.
You can't just say hello to everyone?
Well, we can, but how do I know whose name you are? Have.
So, this flower, you say you do not know, but you seem drawn to it. It smells good to you? Do goblins have nose?
Yes, we have nose. They work too.
Oh.
Both of them.
So you've got that up on
Go
rock golems.
True. That's about all we have up on rock golems, unfortunately.
Yes, they are very large.
Yeah.
Is it, Canvas, he seems like he wants the flower.
I don't want the flower. I want a bit of the flower goo.
It is very tasty, but why do you want it? You are small.
If I was big, would I be able to have some without answering the question?
No, but it is, hard for you to reach. You would be in a very compromised position should you, lean over and...
Oh, well that's okay. I know you'll protect me.
That is not true.
It is if I believe hard enough.
Let me ask. Maybe flower not big deal. But you seem very interested in it.
Yes.
And a little cagey as to why.
I'm not cagey.
And you did destroy our entire caravan of magical items.
Oh.
So I'm about in...
Only half of the entire caravan of magical items.
It is true. Depths! Hello! And you hear sort of a clamoring, and you see climbing up out of the other thing, your good friend Fragile Wind comes up and stands. It is the goblin! Goblin! How are you doing?
Oh, you're my favorite.
You are
Don't
noisy and easy to follow. You are our favorites.
It's true.
You found this very nice place. That small man about your size. He came here, and you
no, we
followed
didn't-
him. Where is he?
We didn't find it. He hired us and brought us back here.
Ah, he hired for a job.
Yes.
What was job?
Save daughter from death.
Oh, seems like noble job. Where is he? He has lots of interesting stuff.
Oh, he's back at town.
Oh. It is not safe in town. There is a bird storm.
We know. We got rid of the birds though.
Oh, this is good. Hey, Daps, the birds are gone. No, come on up. We have visitors. I think.
It's me.
No, not the ones that live here. They are still in the town.
You guys are friends with Do, right? Sort of male.
We have dealings with Do.
I'm a friend of Do too. We were hanging out in the circus together. Are you here because of Do now?
No, but
No.
there seems to be lots that Do might be interested in here. All of these pages down here filled with lots of leads for magical things
Oh.
and knowledge.
Well, Do already bought the flower.
Do bought the flower?
Yes.
Is it your flower?
No, it's Do's flower.
Already bought it.
He bought the flower.
Make a deception roll.
Is it really deception thow?
It's not
We
really deception.
Do did not buy the flower. It is not
He's-
Do's flower. This
See,
is a
we're gonna-
lie.
We're gonna open up a line of reasoning here. If Groost truly believes he's telling the truth, is it really deception?
Yes.
Let's find out.
just roll this out.
Oh no. Okay, we both suck.
How do you know do?
Well, we were in the circus together.
That
Not
is
like-
not true.
not like-
I am familiar with whole life story. He has never been in the circus.
No, sorry, common is very confusing. We were in the circus location together,
I
hiding
see.
from the birds who were trying to kill everybody.
It is a difficult day today.
It is very difficult.
So,
So he
Do
offered us money.
owns the plant.
Yes.
What else here does Do own?
Nothing. The rest belongs to the other guy.
All right. Other guy, big and scary, or the short guy?
Who's the big and scary guy?
I don't know. He is fictional guy that would make me not want to steal things from here. Little
Oh.
not scary guy. We can take. You showed us
Well,
where. That is why
I-
you are here, right? To steal the things?
So, are you sure you want to mess with him? Because we were like, maybe we can mess with him. But then we realized that he thought a safe place to hide his daughter was at Death's place, you know? And anybody that's going to do that is probably pretty scary. So we, now we work for him.
You change employers a lot. That will not look good on resume.
Well, if you don't have a resume, it can't look bad on your resume. That's step one of business.
Not sure that you understand any of business, but alright, if Do owns Flower, then that is good. Beauty, get away from Flower. Do already mad at us. We don't need him any more mad. And it sounds like there is new competition for Do's favorite people in town.
Is that us?
Yes, you are the competition. You take all of our stuff, you make Do mad, and now Do likes you.
Well, we are very charismatic.
I have said that. We've all said that, really. We've said
Mostly
that to
me.
each other.
So
I want to be friends.
I really like the cats. I'm not sure whether we burned this fridge or not, but I really like the cats.
So why is there being competition with each other? Why don't we be friends?
I don't know. You did steal hundreds of gold's worth of stuff from us.
And then you stole from us. We're even.
We did not steal anything from you.
Yes, you did.
No,
You stole the book. You
that
stole
is
the book
not
from Robin.
true.
That is at least somewhat true.
Totally false. I deny all your accusations of stealing.
Okay, I deny those accusations of accusations. What
You-
now?
Cannot do that as a denial. It does not work. It is right there. So, you own the flower, but everything else fair game, and we
Well-
leave with all of these leads.
I feel the words fair game are possibly being, not mean what they mean. Common is very hard.
The
I
female,
promise.
the female
I'm
tabaxi
very-
just sort of like reaches over your shoulder and dips paw into the nectar and just.
Oh, that reminds me. Can you lift me up into the flower for a moment? Thank you. Okay. Grush would like to try to harvest some nectar to the vial.
All right. Looking at this, even though there are parts of it that do appear to have a little bit of like sort of a dewy stickiness to it, it is not readily apparent to you how one would go to harvest any large amount of nectar. So the way this is going to work is this is going to be a skill challenge.
Hold on.
You will
With,
need...
with that in mind, you're like a druid, right?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Right
if
now
you're a
I am
druid.
Goblin Holder.
Right. So, if you were going to harvest this flower,
I
How
would
would you
not
do?
use a goblin.
I know, but Unfortunately, I have only goblin to use.
It is true.
So, does it come out of that bit, or that bit, or that bit?
If you look down at base, that is the goopy part. It sort of wicks its way up, but this is magical, so you have to be careful. If you touch that part too hard, it will break. And then,
Okay.
And then it will all sort of just seep into the marsh, and you'll probably kill the flower and maybe some.
Oh, okay. Right.
So be very gentle. You can paw the top all you want,
Oh, okie dokie.
but don't touch the base. That is
Bonk.
very difficult.
Guidance self.
Alright, so this will be nature checks. You will need to make 3 nature checks before you fail 3 nature checks. But you have advantage on these checks because now you have a druid behind you who is coaching you.
Great.
The DC is 13.
I want to guidance myself. Is it cheesy to guidance for all of these?
You do you.
Okay. Then I will make these nature checks with advantage and guidance. Because that is me. 19.
That will be, that's good. That is good a drop.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's not good. Oh, guidance.
Oh, no, don't touch that part.
Ah.
It is, no, it's almost broken.
Oh no. Oh. Oh.
Alright. No, steady, tiny goblin, no! What is this? No, I said don't touch that part, the stem is bent over.
God.
This is very stressful. I think you only probably have one more chance.
Let's go.
Yes, that is good. See, you don't need to kill plant to take things from it. She kind of pats you on the head with her sticky paw. Good. This is good. You could become druid.
Wow. Ghost, cleric, and druid. Wow. Thank you. Without you, I would almost certainly have destroyed this precious flower.
It is true. I agree. You are not very good at this.
So we could all be friends? You could put me down.
She's just like still like holding you.
If you want.
I will put you down, not on the floor.
Okay.
She sets you down.
Thank you. So, yeah, we need to get a few things, but then we're going to go, and we can't stop you from taking things if we're not here. So,
I don't think you could stop taking us from things here. You, anyways.
Groost gives a knowing nod.
Common is also a struggle here. It's okay. Prepositions in common are hard.
What I'm trying to say is...
Canvas, stop your mewing. Oh, Canvas. He does not like the rain. He is all wet. He doesn't dry very quickly. He makes... Stop it! We'll get you some mushrooms later. You said you needed more things. I thought you said all things were free here.
What? I don't know if I used exactly those words.
I paraphrase.
Well, we have to get the directions to the place, the directions for the thing, and then we're gonna go. Finish our job.
We have collected many things into sack. The stuff in the sack is ours, the rest of the stuff, fair game for now. We will collect most of the things.
Okay.
There is a lovely knitted blanket in there. We are not going to take that. It would be too heavy. Our fur is like a blanket.
Okay. Well, at least... Okay.
There is a small collection of sticks, each one shaped like a squirrel. That one is for canvas.
Oh,
Besides
okay.
those items and the ones in the bag, you can have whatever you want. Within reason.
Okay. I'm good to go over there now.
He turns and climbs back down into the hole, and you hear rummaging about in the prophecy storage area.
I think we need the prophecy storage area.
Hello.
Tiny goblin, can I throw you into swamp?
No. Oh,
I'm gonna scramble up the side of this.
goblins and swamps were never meant to mix.
It is always offer. I think you would be fun to throw into water sometime.
Probably.
You are
Well-
very throwable size.
Yes, well, you
Where
are.
did you come from? You are very sneaky.
I am. It's my job.
That is good. It's a good thing you are not as good at seeing sneaking as you are at sneaking, or we would all be in trouble. Maybe sometimes we are just standing next to each other, but neither of us knows it.
Wouldn't put it past us.
Sneaking
Or would
is
we?
less interesting.
I don't know. I enjoy it.
Well,
It's like,
are there any
why
more
not-
friends around?
yes,
Can I throw them into the water?
No.
maybe.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I
Get
wa-
what you need. We are on tight schedule.
I'm going
So are
down
we.
here now. Oh, which?
All right. I will stand watch.
I will slide down the ladder after Gerst.
All right. You find the room even more disheveled than when you left it. There is, as discussed, a large satchel that seems stuffed with a lot of these things, and the boss Kitty is going through sort of book by book, scroll by scroll, sort of reading through, and it seems like if he likes what he sees, it goes in the bag. If he doesn't, it goes in a pile in the corner.
Have you found one of those about a girl who's gonna die,
Or any personal journals.
or a personal journal?
These all sorts of seem like personal journals.
Okay. Well,
We literally all we need is the information to find this daughter. We don't need
Oh,
to
yeah.
keep the book. We just need to write it down.
anything about death's door, like in a literal death's door, not like a figurative death's door. You know,
Like
No.
a location
like a place,
known as Death's Door.
like a door.
Like
to a-
literally
Like a
the
door
door
to
to death? Like
Correct.
death place? Like
Yeah.
like at the end of the river.
Whoever
Yes.
whoever wrote this prophecy was just really into themselves in the death storm metaphor.
Have not
You- are
seen
you-
any
are you-
have not seen any books on death door rivers. It is common knowledge though. If you head north, you can find the river and follow the river to Death's Door. But
Right,
the
but-
river is very dangerous. Do not swim in the river.
But which river? Is there only one river? Which way do you follow it? Down? Up?
You follow it to the door.
But now, my questions.
The river? You'll know it when you see it. It is a river of death.
Oh, well, you didn't say that.
Well, it is the river. River goes through all the lower plains. But it starts right here in Ogral.
That's convenient.
Oddly
It is.
convenient.
You know, the longer I spend in this place, the more I wonder if I've made a mistake choosing it as my base of operations.
You have. It is not a great place. It rains birds sometimes. There are weird people everywhere.
Yeah,
Yes.
Chris sort of looks at Zara.
Chris, you're not allowed to insult your best friend.
I didn't say
I
anything.
would, if you're looking for
Your look spoke volumes.
things here, there is, I would not worry about going to death And girls, there are a lot more valuable things in here. Most of these end in treasure. I don't know how many you read, but see, look, thing, treasure.
What are the
Thing,
things
thing,
before that?
Thing. Really vague warning. Bigger treasure.
So, but
Thing. Chickens. Marriage.
Really, isn't marriage a kind of treasure?
it's like, what do you want all that treasure for?
Selling, and then you get the money for it. Or if it's
But
money, then you just have money. It cuts out a whole step.
But what are you spending all that money on?
Friendship?
I'm listening.
Well,
Well,
you don't have to buy friends.
if you're around your friends and you have money, you can have things that you and your friends like. Like
Like-
food or alcohol or
Oh,
more food.
right.
I mean, don't you use money for things? Do you not have big celebration house?
I live in a cave.
Then you need money to not live in cave anymore.
What? I could build a cave above ground.
No, you can't.
But
At any rate, this is another good one. Thing. Treasure.
so how? I hope you've been looking for the correct journal while I've been
I would like to.
whimsically conversing with the cat.
Investigation roll, please.
Investigation.
Ooh.
28.
Alright, going
Min
through...
max.
Nope,
and,
just a rogue.
Wait, do you have plus 18 to investigation?
I have plus 10 to investigation.
Oh, I was reading that as the roll. I was like, how is that possible?
Not at 5th level. Not yet.
Rummaging through things, you do estimate that probably about a third of the contents likely have been put into the bag already. Going through, even sort of cross-referencing the various organizational strategies that you've seen, you don't actually see any particular prophecy about the events described.
You didn't see anything about Death's Door.
Oh no, but like the prophecy wasn't about Death's Door. The prophecy was about something else, and he avoided the prophecy by going to Death's Door. So we're not looking for a prophecy about Death's Door. We're
I
looking
think
for a
that's how
prophecy.
prophecies work.
No, it is because
These are
If-
basically just riddle treasure maps. If you think about them like prophecies, you're gonna get all into the existential nature of destiny versus free will. It is very confusing and not profitable.
so how if he didn't want
That's
his daughter
wise.
to die, that was in the prophecy, he wouldn't follow the prophecy, right?
Right.
So we're not looking for a prophecy about going to Death's Door. We're looking for a prophecy about a girl dying of something. Something.
Not everything is prophecy. Sometimes girls just die of something.
Most of the time, even.
So, just, can I-
I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe we just follow the fucking river.
I mean, why don't you go back to town and ask your friend where this is? He's been there before, no?
which one? Do?
No, the daughter guy.
Oh, right. Oh, we did ask him.
Did he tell you where the river is?
North?
It is north. He is right.
He was sort of vague on a couple of things, and then he just stopped responding. So you're gonna keep following us?
Yes, of course.
So
as long as
you're
you
gonna
keep going to places that lead us to things
Right.
that are valuable, of course we will follow.
so you're gonna come to death's door with us?
No, that is too far. We would probably stop.
Oh, but what if it was pleasure?
Do you want us to follow you?
I
It'd
don't
be
know.
nice.
You're going to
It'd be
invest
nice.
in saving this girl's life?
No, we would probably rob you while you are sleeping.
Okay. Well, then I think we'll pass on you following us then.
Alright, we have not done so yet out of courtesy, as you are more profitable to us stealing things. If you show us the things to steal first.
Well, I am a master thief. I've stolen your hearts, haven't I?
This is untrue.
Good effort.
But very macabre. I like the way you threaten people. I think
So-
you will find that river is not hard to find. You need to keep going north for about 2 weeks from the little town that you like, and find the big lake, and then find the rivers off of the lake. Follow one of them. That is the river. There is dock before river goes into mountain. The river does not go into the mountain. Wrong river. If you find a river
Okay.
that goes into the mountain, do not go into the river, because it starts to get bad.
So how do we get to where the river is going without going into the river?
You'll need a ride from a ferryman.
Okay. What do we give to the ferryman to let us ride on his boat?
You have to make deal with ferrymen.
Okay.
It
So
is
he's
big
going-
thing. There's probably one there now.
Okay. Great. Wow.
But make sure you bring something to make deal with. They don't like, oh, rock, here, give rock. You take us to door. Not going to fly.
So is it like a I love gems ferryman, or is it the only way I'll take you on my river is if I crush you emotionally kind of ferryman?
Depends on who's working that day.
Okay.
As far as I know, I've never actually been there. I did hear stories once.
Okay. Well, you guys have given lots of information just by us asking. That's...
It's kind of crazy what happens when we actually talk to each other instead of just blindly stealing things.
Maybe we should, do this talking thing more often.
It does take longer than just stealing things.
It does
But
take...
ultimately more productive.
Well... Yeah. We're good to go now. Unless you want to ask us anything.
I mean, did you want one of these just for...
Yeah, that one.
No, this one's going in the bag. There's lots of them over
No!
there.
But that's the one I wanted.
But if there's any left, come back and take one. It would be good to have
I
a
will-
personal souvenir for your employer, right? Oh, one last little bit of business before you leave here peacefully. You did not
Yes?
see any of this. He holds up the
See any
prophecy in front
what?
of his face.
I've gone magically blind. I'm gonna grab a book at random and go up the ladder.
Bruce will take 1d4 prophecies. I mean, 1d4 side quests. Why is Stumbles typing?
Oh wow, there's a lot of names I can type as.
Oh, 4 prophecies.
I would like 4 side quests, please. See,
I have also grabbed one at random.
All right. Well, this is the part where you all were leaving, right?
I'm up the ladder and yelling back down. Have fun doing nothing that we didn't see.
We won't.
I'm heading back to the party.
Goodbye.
All right. You all make your way back to Partyland. As you see Goliath and Emily standing there laconically.
I moved over to them while this was all happening. How did it go?
So
Well,
good.
pretty well, honestly.
Not as bad as it could have been. I took a prophecy. They weren't here.
The cats were very helpful. They helped me get this vial of nectar. Well, if you should hold this, I will break it. Here, Olive, you take.
Oh, okay. And I stick it wrapped in like a couple like kerchiefs and stuff in my bag.
And then they told us that the way to Death's Door is north. We find a river. That is the river of death.
Wait.
Follow it.
You didn't find instructions. You received.
Correct.
It matches the
Instructions.
information we were given before, so I think it's reliable. We are walking.
Is there a map, or is this all word of cat?
Well,
It's word of cat.
the
I
cats
can
have
draw
nev-
you a map if it'll feel better. Make you feel better.
The cats have never lied to us. To be honest with you, they've been very forthcoming about how they're going to rob us.
They
So-
also proclaimed they would kill us. Do you forget as they floated down the river after things?
I think they were just angry.
I would be angry.
That's usually said in anger, yes. That's my point.
And now they're not angry anymore.
Or they're
yeah.
just biding their time.
Or they're just biding their time.
So we go north, we find the river, we follow it to the mountain, but we don't go in the river itself unless we're on the boat with the ferryman, and the ferryman we have to make a deal with. That's it.
Wait, I thought you said there was more than we already knew.
Well, didn't know everything.
Then there's more that you haven't shared, because we knew all that.
Yeah,
Stop trying to pull something out of nothing. What are you doing?
one of the cats doesn't like pain.
That's fantastic.
Wait,
better
someone's calling me back in town.
Who's calling you back in town?
I mean, the
Okay,
others of your friends are back in town still.
I think it stumbles.
Better get back to this fellow we promised the location of, because
Oh,
this party's about
Oh.
to
Yeah, no, I told them that
scavenge the area.
I told them that Do bought the flower, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't want to touch the flower." Do bought it, and Do
Oh,
doesn't
well,
like it.
that's... Luckily, they're cats of their word. Perfect.
Well, it seemed like they didn't want to piss off Do, so I guess however bad they are, Do is like double bad, or 1.5 bad, or 3 bad.
Or 18 bad. I mean, we really don't have a metric here.
We don't. We can only guess. So back to town? Yes? No? Elias? Do you want to
I'd like the
ransack the
place
house?
to rest eventually. I was really looking forward to laying down in that study, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're sort of ransacking. So I'm gonna go this way.
Not gonna last long. We better get back to do.
Back to town.
So, heading back into town, things have cleared up. It seems like Colonel Bend is slowly returning to normal. There's still sort of this somewhat off-putting light coating of ash over everything.
Pudding.
Coating. Ash pudding. It's chalky. But you make your way through and return back to Baroness Lindsay's posthumous living circus. And you find that Undine, Caspian, Stumbles, and most importantly, Dew are all still there, though Dew looks like he is gathering things up and on his way out the door as you all come back.
Greetings, Do. We have returned.
I see that.
So, would you still like the location of the flower?
That was for our bargain, yes?
Just confirming.
I will sit down at a table, I will pull out some paper, and I will sketch a map to the flower.
So, small, how do we get our money?
Well, it will have to be arranged. I don't
No, I understand it's
carry
not like
that kind of money with me. If I head to the location and everything is in order and in pristine condition, then I'm sure there won't be any problems.
Well, I mean, full disclosure, the horrible cats are there right now.
We told them that the flower was yours, though. And they were like, okay, we
So
shouldn't.
it's kind of a toss-up on how afraid they are of you.
So
The
understand
horrible
that.
cats.
So, you know the tabaxi people from the Cat Guild that worked for you before that got the books. So we
Yes.
told them that the flower is yours, and they understand that. So if the flower is in any way damaged or they've done anything, it's directly in opposition to you. So you should be angry at them.
I'm already quite disappointed in their performance on some other issues, but I trust that they will not knowingly undermine whatever we have going on here.
Correct.
So, do you have a address or place of post that I can arrange for this to be delivered to?
No. Could we pick it up somewhere? Do
We're
you've got
slightly
like a
transient.
sort of like homeless light. Do you have like a place, a central location, or location north we could stop by?
Well, the library is considerably west of here, and its location is kept a secret, so our
Or not
base of
there?
operations is not. Why don't we meet somewhere in town in, I don't know, 3 or 4 days? You pick a place, and I will bring what is owed to you. I can give you a small advance
Ominous.
on whatever is in good faith, what I have on me at the moment, and then the remainder can be brought.
Okay. I trust you implicitly.
He sort of walks back in, sits back down at the little booth he was doing, places his box on the table, and takes out a coin purse, and then slowly counts out and stacks up platinum pieces, and counts out 50 platinum pieces, which is 500 gold.
And that's the old party loot. Shall I do it or someone else do it?
I can do
And
it.
you give him the map,
Okay.
I assume.
Yes.
Well, hopefully this is the start of a wonderful
Friendship?
partnership.
Friendship.
I bid you adieu.
I bid you Scooby-Doo.
And with that, he gets up, gathers up his personal effects, and heads out the door.
Stumbos. Do is leaving. Emily's coming with us. Caspian and Undine are doing whatever those people do.
I
What
mean,
are you
are
doing,
you
Stumbos?
in need of security?
Always, but
I mean, we are going to literal death's door.
Right.
Sounds
And
a
if
little
death
bit
is
intense. I mean, perhaps we can secure your assets there somewhere in town, and when you come back, they'll be waiting for you, minus a little bit for our living expenses during that time.
actually sounds pretty reasonable.
All right.
Do we all agree with this?
Undine
Think
just sort of
so.
shrugs. Stumbles, just sort of shrugs.
Stumbles, what are you doing? Are you staying or are you coming?
Stumbles picks up a stool and places it on top of a table. Upside down.
I don't know what that means. But I like it. Well, I, first things first. We're going to bed. Good night.
Bruce, you can't just lie down on the floor.
Rest
Grist.
begins immediately.
Grist. I'm trying to pick Grist up, but it's like, you know when you've got like a really big fat cat that just doesn't want to get up, and you can't like pick them up because they've become a liquid.
Our
hours
cat
from
face
now.
plants into the floor. I think we should try to find some type of inn to maybe stay at.
There are several inns in Colonel Bend.
Yeah, probably the one. Yeah, we stayed at. You know, like where we kind of started out.
All right. For the 4 of you, it's 2 gold for the night. Not each, just total.
Total. Okay.
So 5 silver.
Yes. 5
Each.
silver each.
Okay. Sounds good.
Oh yeah, we'll do it tomorrow.
And are you, in bookkeeping wise, are you taking all of your money with you? Are you leaving some of it here? What arrangements would you like to leave with Caspian et al?
I was under the impression that we'd have Caspian pick up the money because we want to make haste.
My assumption was we take the 500, we head off, they pick up the rest, and they give it to us and we get back.
That's a lot of trust to rest on an NPC.
Dora,
Yes.
of all the NPCs, Caspian is the most killable.
It's actually not true at all.
That's not true at all. Caspian is the most likely to accidentally kill other NPCs by a beheading, by a large margin. But he is also a pile of hit points.
You know what's good against hit points?
Beheading?
I think it was good against death saves.
All right. So you can either arrange for Caspian to get your money, or make other
Caspian getting
arrangements.
money.
All right.
Yeah.
And that it's easy enough to go to the inn. They're grateful for the business, and a long rest can be achieved. So we are in
Sweet day in the
civilizations.
morning.
And morning comes without incident.
Switching out one spell.
So bookkeep as you need to.
In the morning, as we come down for breakfast, I hand, if I assume we're going to be eating together, I would like to spread some jam on some toast for Zahara, Goliath, and Groost. And they each get 3 temporary hit points.
Oh my god.
We have to travel north for how long there? Mr. received all the information.
2 weeks.
Excellent.
Alright, is there any supplies that we need?
Yeah, that's the reason why we came back here, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's the whole reason why we came back to town.
It's one of the reasons.
The other reason was NPC death.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think getting some provisions for, is this 2 weeks of travel? Yep.
It's okay to purchase at Player's Handbook prices.
At
Casey?
Player's Handbook prices, purchase the things you need.
All right.
I'm adding at least rations.
cool.
Cool.
If you don't plan on purchasing them, please provide some description of how you will accomplish the eating and drinking.
Wish there was a buy button, because now I have to go back to the gold and remember how much I've spent. Also, who sells it by the day? I need 1 day's worth of.
How much is it per day? Oh, you've got it up already, I assume.
What's
2 days is 1 gold.
overall per diem?
Sorry, I missed that because I read. What was that?
Ration. I will look it up for you.
Oh, that's okay. I got it. I mean, I can get it. It's fine.
What's the question?
It sounded like he had it up, what their cost was.
I answered that.
You talked over each other, so I didn't hear it.
Oh, all right. Sorry. Yeah, it's 5 silver a day or 1 gold for 2 days. That's how I did it.
Or a gold and a half for 3.
I did not do it that way.
So it would be 7 gold total.
Thank you. I had a degree in poetry, so I did real well. So yeah, I got 2 weeks of rations. Okay.
So, anything else you need to do in Colonel Bend?
No. Probably not.
Well, actually, as a cleric, maybe we should attend to the remains of our fallen
Yeah.
benefactor. We should get that
We're
guy
gonna
taken
leave his
care
ass
of.
on the ground.
And
I
Baroness Lindsay.
But we didn't cause Baroness
We didn't
Lindsay's
cause it.
problem. I'll be happy to help that one, but first, I think we should maybe make sure that body is cleaned up and the room is maybe scrubbed down or whatever, and get him buried in a plot nearby if we can, or just outside of town if that's not available.
What is the healing potion situation at the moment?
I have 1.
I'm down to 1. I was saving it for when I went unconscious and someone needed to take it off my body.
I have 1.
I also have 1. Do we want to pick up a couple of healing potions as well?
If it's available, not a bad idea.
Is
Well-
it available?
Casey.
They do have healing potions at the Discerning Exchange. They don't have a ton of them, but I'm guessing you guys aren't going to buy like a dozen.
No.
So we can roll to see how many they have.
I want to save the money first.
1d4 plus 2 healing potions are available to purchase.
Could Garus try and pick up a book of folk tales to try and find the stories that the cats are talking about the ferryman / River of Death / Death's place, to try and get more information on what the fairy people want?
Alright. Yeah. Not too hard to do to poke around and find a book. The book you have doesn't... It's not necessarily like, everything you need to know about it, but it does have like a chapter in it that has some...
Well, Garus
some
isn't looking for like an
stories.
encyclopedia, right?
Yeah,
It's just
you're
like
looking for a Wikipedia.
more like a picture book for kids.
All right. Well, as luck would have it, the children's bookstore does have a fairly good treatise on the River of the Damned and the pathway to death. So you were able to
Nice.
pick that up for not very much, and you have that now in your possession.
Garus will read this as the journey continues.
All right.
So did we want to pick up healing potions? How many?
We do have those rubies we could spend with them if we wanted to from party loot.
Oh.
Anything
many-
above
There are-
1 per person
There are 3
means that
available.
one of the clerics can't help heal. It's a nice backup, but 50 gold pieces a pop and my eventual desire to have good armor, I don't
All
want
right.
to.
Because I
Personally.
have one on me right now. We each have one, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Then we'll just.
Okay. That's
How much gold do you have? Not you. Elias.
A bit under 400, maybe 389 and
How
5
much is
silver
the
exactly.
how much is the army you want?
1,500.
Oh. Good luck.
Thank you for your inquiries and concerns.
I don't have that much gold.
Oh, and while we're gone, maybe I could have our brand new employee. We're employing him now? Huh, all right. Sell my Cloak of Elvenkind.
All right. He will go through that process and look to see if he can find buyers and all of that. But we can tend to that when
The offline Xanathars.
yeah,
That's fine.
Yeah, I'll figure out how much you can get for it. All right. So are we good to leave Krenel Bend and head north?
yes.
Yes.
All right. You depart sort of late afternoon and begin your long trek up into the north of Ogral. If your characters have not ventured this far north before, this is the farthest north that you have ventured. The terrain starts to get a little bit more densely forested and start getting away from this kind of like sort of forest and swampy type areas that you've been in. It's very rugged landscapes. There are roads through here heading up north, but it's not sort of like, speckled with farmlands and townhouses and all of that sort of thing. It's very much the wilds, and while you do pass other travelers on the road, it is usually only a couple of times a day. Roads take you after about a week and a half. You do start seeing the corners of that very large lake, whose name I currently don't recall, in the center of Ogral there, and then doing as the directions said, you follow your way sort of around that and do start encountering some rivers that flow likely down from the Dove Rock Mountains and come and sort of all empty out into this basin. All in all, not too bad a journey. You'll have chances to catch up and converse and find out everyone's deepest, darkest secrets. Groost, you have some opportunity to read through your book on the River of the Dead, also known as the River Styx.
Bruce can't read.
So
Read the book to Groost.
Story time. Somebody reads it to Groost.
I want a book. You can't read.
So the River Styx.
Yeah, Olive would have taken interest in this as well.
All right. So a little campfire reading as you go. The River Styx winds through all of the lower plains. Sort of the abyss and hell and all of those wonderful places. And it is sort of known as kind of like a line of delineation between the first layer of hell and sort of some of the other planes themselves. But that is far beyond the kind of realm where you're going. And so there are some sort of stories and mentions about this whole like Death's Door thing as being like the passage into the underworld, and it's said that occasionally people will like sort of come here and try to leave offerings for the gods of death or whatever forces of death in hopes that they may sort of curry their favor and perhaps hedge the ever-rising tide of mortality against their souls. So that's a common practice for people to leave offerings and such there. It also talks about these ferrymen and how they are fiends that basically can guarantee you safe passage, at least in terms of like moving from point A to point B across the river itself, along it. They are very able and capable shipwrights, and are sometimes employed elsewhere outside of the river, and their almost supernatural ability to control vessels, and all of that. And they're also very, very particular business people that make contracts, and being fiends, stick to those contracts quite well, and sort of earn their reputation in all of that. They are also have a bit of a reputation to be covetous and driven by wealth.
Check the bushes nearest for that cat.
Yes. Fragile Wind just sort of waves at you. So that's kind of what you get. By no means any sort of like in-depth discussion of all of it, but it gives you a little bit more background on what's going on in that. And so you are able to, after about 2 weeks or so of travel, as claimed, find the river that you think is the right one, and follow it up along. And as you see, this river does in fact go into this sort of large cavernous mouth into the side of the mountain. There's a lone dock, in this sort of it sort of widens out to be maybe about 60 feet across, where it enters this cave, and then you can see it goes back in. Like there's almost this natural harbor, and there's just this single sort of very weathered, weary looking dock with a single pole up on it that hangs a lantern that looks like it's had candles long since burned through on it again and again. There's a single candle lit there. There's almost this faint sort of misty fog that rolls out from the cavern itself over the top of the water. That's this sort of very dark turquoise color, kind of murky. There doesn't seem to be anything sort of swimming or living in it. It sort of just wafts out past the edge of this dock and then just sort of dissipates into the rest of the river. The river is flowing inexplicably in to the mountain itself, which doesn't make any sort of sense geologically.
Can I do one really quick honor travel question? And this is more of a question for Beth. During our travels through the wilds, would you have let Eloise feed on anything unusual? Or feed like
At all.
like a pattern?
So, I mean, that's not a question for me. Eloise can have whatever she wants to eat.
Okay.
Would you as a party have silently pushed Eloise towards certain animals? Because Groost would not.
I just didn't know if you would want to make Eloise stronger in any way, given not so much as like a freakish experiment, just as, wanting to enhance anything in her. Does that make
your faith in Groost's like foresight or like machinations is endearing, but misguided.
Okay.
Groost
I guess
will allow Eloise to eat at random.
Okay. Unless
the rest of you pushed for something particular.
I don't think I would have pushed for it because you are so protective of Eloise. I don't think that Olive would deign to take that. So that's why I posed the question to Groost.
Zahara thinks that Eloise is kind of weird, and so I think she generally tries not to think about Eloise.
What if we had Eloise and Ondine in the situation? Do you think that would play out? Because
You suggesting that we feed Ondine to Eloise?
What I'm suggesting is we might not be able. Ondine might be immune to that because it's not alive. It's alive.
But she still has like memories, right? Or dreams.
No, those have been extracted. Remember?
Oh no, but has she created new memories since the previous ones were extracted?
She
I don't know.
she was
Is she set
definitely
to
bitchy enough to
record? I
have a
don't
soul,
know.
I think.
Can
Because
she
I'm pretty sure
dream?
that bitchiness is a measurement of the mortal soul. So
Is
I'm
she-
fairly confident that Ondine
It-
has a soul.
Is she made of meat?
Yes.
Is she edible?
No, she's made of magic.
We're not.
Oh,
Didn't the genie say that the genie conjured up?
oh, can you conjure up meat?
Yes.
Why didn't I buy whiskey for this trip?
So whether magical or otherwise,
Not living meat. It's already prepared dead meat.
it is still meat.
It's literally something you get at a deli. I can get you some pastrami, but
So, never mind. Question resolved. We can continue. I just wanted to ask that before we got too far.
Fair enough.
Eloise only eats bosses.
Okay. So, you find yourself at this sort of lone dock out into this river. Fairly secluded around here. There is a little bit of evidence of kind of like a footpath up in and around, and you can kind of see that there are apparently clearings where it seems like people may have made camps here at some point, but currently quiet.
I don't suppose there's a way to summon this boatman.
Oh, boatman.
I'm
Nope.
sorry. I don't mean just off the cuff. I mean like in particular. What about your book? What does your book say?
Does the book say anything about summoning a boatman?
Reading through it, it's not. There's usually only a single one that kind of works a particular portion of the river, and they just sort of go back and forth.
Does anyone have Uber?
We just follow the river until he goes on by.
We need a pickup.
Scheduling pickup for abandoned dock. I don't know. Does anybody have a candle?
Yes.
How long have we been going for, Casey? Has this been almost the 2 weeks that we thought we would, or is this
More or less.
just
yeah.
like 1 week and we could look forward to a week on the open water of doom?
It's 2 weeks to get to sort of like this entrance, so.
We don't know how much further.
I mean, I
Yeah,
guess-
you get the impression from all of this that like not many people go past this point. Like it's sort of like, hey, let's go to the underworld, afterlife. Cool, that's a place to go while you're alive.
Look at you trying to send the party to the underworld. It's been done before.
Not by boat.
I'm going to go up to the dock and look around. Is it just like completely empty? Is there anything of interest? I guess specifically looking at the lantern.
Lantern is there. It's just sort of caked wax down at the bottom of it. Nothing sort of lit at the moment. In it, if you sort of climb up a little bit, you can see that there's kind of a stub of a candle there. But it looks like the whole lantern can just sort of get lifted off of the very ordinary wrought iron hook there that's rusted and weathered. Could be opened.
Can I
Let me- Yes.
light it with prestidigitation to see if that would work to light it?
You can indeed. The candle sort of lights up. Doesn't cast very much light, but a little small orangey glow sort of haloed by this fog that's rolling out of the cavern itself.
What time of day is it?
It is evening, because that's cooler ambiance-wise.
I mean, I feel like if I was a ferryman on the River Styx, I would come when day turns into night, because that seems thematically resonant.
So would you?
think? Go
But
ahead,
would you?
Roost.
So if there's an entire river, but you only show up at night, where do you go during the day?
Well, you're a mystical ferryman who's a fiend, so I'm not sure. I'm not. I don't think that they necessarily have to obey the laws of boats.
No wake zone? What are you talking about?
Don't know what that means.
As you, yeah, there's like buoys you have to go through. As you're all sort of contemplating here, you guys looking over at Zahara and Olive on the dock, you see behind them another sort of small point of light just moving kind of back and forth deep in the fog in the mouth of the cave.
I am never wrong.
You were
Never.
just wrong.
I was not.
Mr. Ferry Boatman.
And
Do you think-
after a couple of minutes, you see sort of a long, grim-looking boat that looks like it is comprised perhaps about half of wood and the other half of bone. Looks like rib bones sort of curve up and kind of move along the arches of the hull, almost like it's a floating rib cage. And then the front portion that goes up and curls up and over seems to be made of sort of just vertebrae stacked in on each other and going out into some sort of skull of some beast creature that in its mouth has a lantern that just sort of hooked on behind some of the teeth that just sways as it goes. Standing in the back is a very gaunt, hooded figure in brown robes, sleeveless, with a long sort of stick that just sort of very slowly pushes it in as the boat begins to sort of slide towards you. You also notice that the ferryman is currently ferrying passengers. As in the boat you see 4 figures, and as they get out sort of the cave mouth, now maybe about 60
Tabaxi. It's the
60.
tabaxi.
Well, it is a good ride. We thought we'd come to. I want to just like anytime there's a reveal of an NPC, it's just a tabaxi again.
I would just with a spoon, just fucking eat it up every time.
Unfortunately not.
Aw.
So, coming out, there are 2 people in the front. You can see this is sort of the mouth. The mouth of the cave is maybe about 60 feet downriver from this. And as they get closer, moving very sort of patiently along the river, you see a male and a female, both elven in nature, sort of ashen gray, dusty, dark blue skin, hair icy white colored, long, impeccably kept. And as they sort of near the end of the dock, you can see that the male of these 2 drow is wearing a long dark red jacket with a sort of high collar up that's embellished with black and then has white filigree all over it in designs, wearing a very sort of fluffy white cravat sort of blouse, and as you approach the dock and the boat sort of almost magically sort of slows towards the end, he kind of stands up and looks over all of you and picks up a walking stick cane from there that you can see from the way he hefts it. It seems like it's just really dense, heavy metallic thing that's all tarnished and worn, and he grabs it and sort of pulls it up with a little bit of panache, and you can see the top of it is this crystalline, maybe ruby carving of a sort of blooming rose on the top, and he just sort of gives you all a nod and then reaches in and offers a hand out towards a drow woman who is dressed equally as regally. Both of them look like they want for nothing in this world and are incredibly affluent, and they are dressed to prove it. And he sort of helps her out. They both sort of stand there, and behind them there's two much more drably dressed individuals who you can kind of see under their hoods, and they are wearing these sort of red veiled masks sort of from their nose down, just because COVID. And you can see they are drow kind of from the parts of their face that you can see, but they're very less ostentatiously dressed, and they do both appear to be carrying some sort of packs or something, as one by one they all sort of step onto the dock, and this ferryman ties up the front of the ship to the dock and sort of surveys over the rest of you as you all just sort of stand there looking over at each other.
Nice trip.
It was marvelous.
What did you give to the ferryman? What is he like?
Aside from the joyful presence of our company along the journey,
Yes.
money.
How much?
Well, one never does ask and one never does tell what's fair to Death's Door, but don't be stingy. It's not a ride that you want to go poorly.
Why are you being vague?
Well, because if you have to ask, you probably can't afford it.
But what if I can?
I do not work for the ferryman, though I do enjoy his... He looks over and you can see the ferryman turn. His face is basically just a skull. To enjoy his warm companionship.
Certainly is committed to the aesthetic. Zahara, by the way. No, I'll sketch a bow.
No need to grovel. My name is King Vorn Duskrin. And this is my wife, the Queen.
What are you
The
king and
the
queen
king
of?
spell his name. Or paste it into the chat.
I will do these things.
Thank you.
What are you the king and queen of?
Well, my dominion is over the Sanguine Citadel, a wonderful oasis city to the southwest of us.
Oh. My name is Groose. The Plucky.
Titles aren't
Yep.
befitting of a name like that, but
You might have heard of me.
I have not.
I freed the genie, became friends with it. What else did I do? Oh, killed a cosmic monster. Made friends with an elephant. Made friends with another elephant.
He is marvelous. We do need a new bard. He tells such wonderful tales. Yes.
See? I like her.
Goose multi-classes twice in one night.
Goose multi-classes every time anybody suggests he might be good at something.
I am a cleric bard druid.
That would be a funny PC concept. Anyway, continue.
It would be funny until you get into any kind of combat. Then the fun would quickly wear out. So, what were you doing down the river?
Well, we do like to come here once a year, or when the mood strikes, to sit and sip wine and look into Death's Door to see the domain beyond and smile that we are not there.
sort of like, like looking forward to the future, maybe? Because you'll die, and then you'll be over there. You'll have all the time in the world to look on the other side when you're on the other side. Right?
I'm not
Did-
sure that's how
wait.
it works.
So how long did
Yes.
Drow live for?
They're elves.
Right? How long did they live? Were they
Don't
elves?
say that out loud to them.
Like
They're
900
just elves.
years.
Just
900
exactly like any other elf.
900 years. We lived for like 25.
Yes, goblins are very short-lived species.
What?
I am also going to live. Or considering our track record, I might just die in the next few years. But theoretically, I could also live to 900.
And what
I
is-
realized the shortcomings of being a goblin.
What is your business here? You look haggard and well-traveled.
We're going to go and save someone who's near death's door. It might seem like I was being evasive there because I paused. I promised that it was actually only because I forgot what it was we were doing here.
It's good to keep one's goals in sight.
Um,
Perhaps I can dissuade you from your fool's errand. No one
You-
leaves the underworld unless there's acts of the gods involved.
But we're not going in. We're going on like the front porch. Like the god.
we're gonna dig dog ditch the underworld.
Oh, we're not gonna knock on the door either. We're just passing through. Or we're passing nearby. You know?
Well, good luck with all of that and everything.
Thank you.
We make it out.
Perhaps- Yes.
Is your city worth visiting?
Oh, it is truly marvelous. It is a shame that the resplendent glory of the Drow people have so long been lost away in the world, hidden in caverns, I suppose, not unlike this one in Ogral, but we have found a new home, made it ours, in Chokstrar. It is both radiant and inhospitable, two qualities that are at the heart of the Drow people.
Oh, I have another question. When you paid to get on the river, did you pay for a return ticket, or did you have to pay here and then there to get back?
I am not the one you should be negotiating with.
I'm not negotiating. I'm just asking what you did.
I did nothing. I
What did
simply
he
came
do?
along for the ride. Our
Okay.
arrangements have been made long before our arrival. It's good to look
Oh.
ahead, as you can't always count on there being a fortuitous encounter such as this.
Well, we're just going to wing it.
Well, then perhaps a conversation with the ferryman is in your best interest. And as she's talking, sort of, you see this little like head poke out of her robe. She kind of like catches this small animal. So it looks like it was about to like hop down, kind of resembling a cat, but is kind of plated with these sort of large like chitinous like carapace plates on its haunches, has quite large oversized fangs, and then has various sort of smaller spikes along its back and sides, and she sort of catches it. Its fur is almost sort of like iridescent, like green to purple, going, and about the size of, a small cat, and catches it in her arms and starts to like stroke over it. Ah, yes, he was terribly afraid inside, but you know, you can't
What?
groom
What's
everything
that?
out of them. No, this it's a figment from Nosrael. They're
Oh,
creatures of
I've got one too. Eloise comes out the bag.
it's hideous.
She's beautiful.
Uh,
The cat one is cuter.
yes.
Eloise, don't listen to them, Eloise.
Did it get away and eat in a slop bucket? For its
Eloise eats
entire
whatever she
life?
wants to eat.
It's clear that she does. You should see to that, or it's going to look, well, embarrassing. I'm sorry, these are perhaps not the right pets for everyone.
Eloise isn't a pet. Eloise is like a friend, like me to you.
I see. Yes, I suppose you would befriend something with a matching lifespan. That makes sense.
It's a very long-lived animal. This is like the parrot of pets.
I'm not an animal.
Not you.
Did you just say like the parrot of pets?
I realized how dumb it was as it was coming out of my mouth.
We'll just let that hang there.
That's like the baguette
But
of bread.
I really appreciate you drawing attention to it.
Just do my part.
Granite of rocks.
Thanks, Bethany.
Well, if you do find yourself sailing the golden waters of Shockstraw, do come see us at the Sanguine Citadel. You'll enjoy
Absolutely.
it immensely.
Zara, why does everything they say sound like a threat? I can't hear you.
Wow.
I only heard row.
I think it's because they're rich.
Oh.
They sort of gather their stuff and look to be heading away from you. If you
Goodbye.
Just out of interest, does the name, like the Sanguine Citadel, like mean anything to me? Does it sound familiar at all?
make a history check.
You see when Sanguinus met Horus in battle. Wait,
Or the Emperor.
for the Emperor.
17.
Not particularly. If it's like a well-established thing, it's probably fairly small and remote. Also, Shockstraw is not the most well sort of documented and well knowledge traveled thing on the continent. Usually, people either go to Shockstraw to be isolated or not found, or to find things that are isolated. It's a giant desert, so it's not really like, oh yeah, there's this cool place in the middle of the desert. You should check that tavern out. It's great. They've got scorpion milk.
Wouldn't be on like the Zagat's Guide or anything like that.
So, let's go make a bark and
This should go well.
greetings, Mr. Ferryman. Do you have a name other than Ferryman?
You can call me Ferryman.
Okay, Ferryman. I am Groost. We would like to purchase a ride down and back up the river, if possible.
This is possible.
Okay. This is our first time. Do we offer you things and do you say yes? Or Do you ask for things?
I will save
Oh.
both of our times.
Okay.
2,500 gold for the passage.
Okay.
She's not worth it. Let's go home. There's no- Never
So-
got armor.
Do we have to give you that gold hand delivered now? Or can we give you a place where we have our gold but it's out of reach? Do you take card?
Debit credit.
By the end of your journey, I will need the payment. If you are unable to pay, there may be things you can do during the journey to earn your way.
Okay.
I'm a very good cook.
Can you give me an example of what one of those things may be?
The illustration has the tiniest boat.
Yeah.
Fits nobody but that guy. Sorry. Capacity.
There are many discarded treasures along the banks of the river. They are yours for the taking, should you be brave.
Okay.
The gods of the dead laugh at these gifts as they are given by those least likely to please them. The gods do not take interest in the treasures of mortals.
That makes sense.
I cannot protect you outside of the boat, so you do so at your own peril. But many have paid their way this way.
Any insight check for Skeleton Man.
Sure.
I have a feeling this might be difficult.
I have a feeling it as well, but you know what? Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
I'm divining a DC
What are you venturing? What, a roll?
20.
I'll roll. $21.
Damn. My DC is
Hard to read.
It's a skull.
His very gaunt, sort of dried flesh stretched over his face, skull, is unsightly at best to look at. There's no change in expression or emotion in his voice. Looking him directly in the eyes is quite unsettling. You immediately stop as you begin to do that, as you feel that there are some potentially adverse effects for engaging in prolonged eye contact with this creature. That's about what you get.
Alright, skeleton.
Good,
Skeleton Man.
good
Skeletor.
times.
Are we all... Do we think this is fine? I think if we're going to do this, we've got to go now. Another month could be too long for the daughter.
One item will be worth passage for all of us.
Please, with us,
2,500
yes.
gold for all of you. To the door and back.
Well, okay. Extra question. We're going to pick somebody up on the when we get there. Will that change the cost?
Extra passengers require extra payment.
How much extra?
Only for the return trip.
Yes.
No creatures can leave the underworld.
It's okay. They're not in the underworld.
I do not understand.
So, let's imagine that the underworld were a place that's on the other side of a door.
It is.
Yes, they're outside that door.
I'm curious. I will not charge an additional fee to bring this person back, provided it does not violate the rules of the underworld. If they are being taken, you will find your own way back. The underworld does not return those it keeps.
Okay. Could you tell us the rules of the underworld while we float down the river on your fine boat?
Conversation is extra.
Well, how about I don't charge you for my conversation, and you don't charge me for yours?
As long as you are quiet, we have a deal.
I will be quieter than usual. See?
So, Emily came with us, correct?
That was the plan, unless
Okay.
there was opportunity to drop her back off again. If you
Yeah.
We could have
We
ditched
just-
her.
We never stated it before we left on this journey. I just wanted to make sure that we're not like all of a sudden like two or like a encounter in and we're like, oh yeah, okay.
So, do you want her here, and do you want her to come along on the ferry if you're going on the ferry?
Only if she wants to,
Yeah,
I think.
but also too, I think that how is she reacting to all of this? Like, what? Like, is she excited about this? Frightened? You know, like, what is her kind of? I don't want to say the word vibe, but I guess that's what I'm getting at.
I should make it so that if you say vibe, you don't actually get anything.
I know, but I mean,
Give
like,
me a wisdom insight check, please.
all right.
At least you prefaced yours with like what you're trying to find out instead of the Dora insight check.
That would be an 11.
She seems largely unfazed.
Okay. But good. Well, Emily, would like to continue with us on this?
This seems like a terrible idea.
Yes.
I can't
Most
promise
likely.
you that I won't go through the door.
Okay, well, if you want to go through the door, we can't stop you. That's your decision. But I promise you that from what he said, you can't come out of the door, so you have all the time in the world to decide on this side of the door before you go through the door. So why rush?
I would find a way back out.
No, you wouldn't.
If you need my help, which after seeing all of you, you clearly do, I'm willing to help. Especially if there is truly an ailing, innocent girl on the other side of all of this.
Okay.
Do you have a plan?
Well,
Yes. We're going to go down the river. We're going to find the girl. We're going to heal her. We're going to bring her back.
and get treasure along the way to pay for our way.
Yes.
I suppose that is the beginnings of a plan, which is all you can really hope for.
We accept, Mr. Ferryman.
He extends out a bony hand to you.
Groost shakes the hand.
All right. As you shake the hand, you feel sort of this cold, sort of swirling energy just seep into you, and you get the sense that this deal has been magically bound. The ferryman sort of looks all of you over. Please allow 5 minutes for me to prep the boat. And we shall reconvene after I have my ice cream cone.
Olive looks around for like a ferryman's public restroom.
That's why they wear robes. We'll be back in 5 minutes. welcome back. Here, I can show you the picture that was in the picture. That's the ferryman. I didn't scroll so you could see it, or maybe you could see it, and then when they rolled, it went away. So, the ferryman seems to be finishing up his ice cream cone, and begins to untie the line and gestures towards the boat. Looks like the boat is just about large enough to fit all 5 of you. There's not much extra room beyond that.
All right, folks.
Bruce.
Now remember, nobody fall in.
Groose hops in the boat.
Olive old lady kind of, shakily gets in.
Alright.
Jump on.
And Emily
Yep.
steps in as well.
She would like to take a seat watching the edge because if we're supposed to be looking for treasure, that's kind of what she wants to keep an eye out for.
Alright, this can certainly be done. Just trying to find a good jam here. Alright.
Groose wants to be as close to the ferryman as possible.
New friend acquired.
Alright. So, for the sake of this, the boat is 10 feet wide and maybe about 20 feet long. It's a little bit more narrower than that, but, in terms of it's 2 by 4 in squares. As you all get in and the ferryman pushes off from the dock and you sort of sail in, you can see once you kind of crest through the arch of the cave, and any sort of light goes out except for that hanging glowing orange torchlight there that just sort of casts its light across all of you. You see that the river below you starts to look like it's almost sort of churning underneath, although the waters on the surface are fairly calm, and just slowly begins to head in. The river very quickly narrows, and you can see in it is this swirling morass of energy. It's sort of turquoises and purples. It almost looks kind of like the sheen of oil on water as you look through it. And the more you look down into it, soon you begin to see that this swirling morass of colors is faces. There's hands just that sort of swirl through, all of them looking garish in nature, tortured, tormented. Not whole people, but just sort of these magical spectral things as they swamp through the whole thing. As you go in a bit further, another 15 minutes or so, you start seeing this cavern. The lining of the walls of the cavern, which are fairly sheer, you start seeing collections of bones of all shapes and sizes, from creatures large and small, just
Ear bones.
piled up, piled up all along the walls, sometimes in larger piles there. There's rocky outcroppings in various parts as the river just winds ever so slowly in. You'd estimate you're not going very fast, as you are sort of going what appears from the flowing of all of these sort of spectral souls against the current at the moment, but you are making very steady headway, and the ferryman sort of looks out and then kind of points off to the side. Offerings of the cowardly, but offerings nonetheless. We will be at the door in 15 minutes. I cannot stop the the boat, or we may be swamped with the souls of the angry and damned. If you wish to get off, you do so at your own peril. I will forge on as promised to the door and return.
How far is it from the edge of the riverbank to the boat?
Funny you should ask.
You got a map for us, Casey?
No, because that would insinuate that we're going to end up in some sort of fighting situation, which I think is highly unlikely.
There's no way we're not gonna fight the souls.
This map represents just a square of darkness.
For me also.
I can see.
Well, good for you.
It is good for me.
It should at least be a rectangle of darkness.
Well, it depends on how zoomed in you are, Casey.
There should be, all the way over the left, there should be light.
Nope.
Do you have dark vision?
Yep.
I know goblins do. I have no idea if Goliath do. I don't think so.
Did that give anyone light?
Nope.
I'll be happy to refresh.
I'll refresh as well.
No, I need light. Do I have that cantrip? I better. I do.
What is your dark vision, Cruised?
I'll tell you as soon as I'm back. Alright.
1 foot by 1.
60 feet.
Did that do anything?
Yes.
Who else needed vision?
I'm gonna cast light upon my friendly neighborhood shield.
Alright,
But it's that kind of like slightly out of focus light, like Clash of the Titans. It's just hazy, sparkly.
How high is this?
70s graphics going by with that star.
The
layer.
ceiling.
it varies. Some spots it's quite high. Others sort of comes down to maybe no more than like 30, 40 feet, but it is still
Okay.
more of a ravine, and the walls are almost straight vertical up there.
Olive holds out the broom.
Wait, light has a saving throw?
If you cast it on somebody, yes.
Sorry.
Who is unwilling? Can everybody see now?
Yes. Yeah.
No.
I can.
I would like to cast light again because I've missed my shield.
How about now?
So much better. Actually, pretty superior, actually. I can see a good almost half the map.
I do like how it kind of like grays out. That's kind of cool. All right, so for the sake of this, I'm gonna go by a turn order. So you may all roll an initiative, and we will control all of this.
That tracks.